Good morning and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something different, and we're going to be doing a review on our new Peugeot Expert van. Something new for the channel. Enjoy. So for those of you that are familiar with the channel, you will see my work van sometimes pictured, or not exactly featured, but certainly in with some of the other videos, because I'll be working from it mostly. However, last week I obtained my new van, courtesy of Jofson Mitsubishi, and today we're going to do a review and a small tutorial on how the van works, because it is something special and very modern inside. So the rear cargo bay is, as usual, as with all our vans, it's racked out either side. The racking on this particular van now has been slightly redesigned. As before, we do have it locked on either side, but these drawers now don't just pull out as they did before. Lift the handle and out she comes, and all your stock will be in there. We have two large cubby holes on the right hand side, one large one down at the bottom, and all the rest is drawers. These are much better than before, very sturdy. And on the other side, at the other side loading door, we have our tool storage. As from our previous vans, we have the side loading door on the right hand side also, and we also have our tool storage on this side. At first it wasn't very new to us, because we never used to have this side door, but now that we've gotten used to it, it's very good to work from. Under the bonnet we have a 2-litre Peugeot diesel engine, very powerful, coupled to an automatic gearbox. Inside the cab we have our double passenger seat, which also lifts up for storage. I keep my overalls in here, seems to keep them out the way, and also other odds and sods that you might want to keep out of sight. The dashboard and display have changed from the older vans. It's all now LCD display with an Allegro type steering wheel, very quartic. In the doors you'll find plenty of storage, and also one below down here. The driver's seat is adjusted for height. There is a lumbar support. This is for your rake, and your lumbar support is this side. There's a wheel here, and to move it forwards and backwards there's a lever here. There are cup holders either side of the dash, and a really big storage tray within the centre of the dash there. The glove box is lifted here and will stay up for you, and there's plenty of storage in there for the service book and other odds and sods that you might want out the way. The dashboard is finished off with this lovely smooth aluminium fascia. As with the rest of the dash, it's all very hard, typical van plastics, but the steering wheel is a soft touch. So once aboard, you will be greeted by Peugeot, and also the badge of your choice, which you can change if you want to, and I'll show you that in the settings. Multifunction steering wheel with all the radio controls here, cruise control and speed limiter here. Also you'll notice there are flappy paddles for the automatic gearbox, which is manual switchable as well, so you can down change if you want to, even while it's in automatic mode. This is an 8-speed automatic. It's very smooth, and the down changes are very quick indeed. In the centre you'll find the usual heater controls, which are the same as our older vans. The only difference is the USB ports. These are now the smaller C-type USBs. so you might want to throw your old leads away and get some new ones for your phones. But there is also under here your 12-volt outlet socket. So once you switch on the ignition, your dash cam will alert you and let you know it's there and tell you to drive safely. There are a couple of displays that you can switch from manually, which is by this button here. Those are the ones that you can change. There are 5 different ones. So this one features your fuel gauge, speed and your rev counter. The second preset is your fuel gauge, your radio display, your speed. Also it gets there as well the speed you should be doing on the road. It automatically reads that. And also here you've got your trip computer, which is you can toggle through on the switch here on the end of the wiper stalk, and it will give you a rundown of your miles per gallon on the trip, and that's trip 1. And you also get a second trip, which is trip 2, and it will give you what your average is. And then you can switch again on the display, which is the one I prefer. This has the fuel gauge, the temperature gauge, speed, and the trip computer and the rev counter along here. Also, if you are connected to your sat nav on your phone, whether you do it through Google Maps or the Apple iPlay, if it's coming up with you need to turn left at a roundabout, it will quickly show up here as well. The infotainment system in the centre, it's a very large screen. There is a lot going on in here. There is a drop down bar here, and you can also set your own profile there as well. So if we go to the home screen, and there you've got your radio player, playlists, that kind of thing there. Into the settings over here, this is where you can set your profile. There you go. As you can see, I have now set my home. But when you first get into the van, you will just be shown the guest display. And you can also create a profile as well, and you do it from here. So here you can customize certain things. The display customization. So this is where you can go into here and you can set what you want on this display, because there are 3 presets and 2 spare ones. So as you can see here, we're on number 3, which is the one I prefer. But if you want to, you can add on what you want on this side of the display or that side of the display. You can please yourself. You can have your temperature gauge, you can have your RPM, your trip computer and your media, and you can set these yourself and save them into there, and also on number 5 as well. You can have the touch screen. I haven't done this one yet, so you can actually show what you want on the main screen when you switch the van on and before you connect to your Android device or Apple CarPlay, depending on which you have. Again, you can add widgets and things like that. This is all good for you to play around with. It's all there. You can please yourself what you want on it. You can choose what you connect to. Obviously you have your devices, and it'll also do Wi-Fi networks, and you can also alter the privacy of whether you want to share your data and location. I've left this switched on simply because it gives you the speed reading for the roads and things like that, so you don't actually need to be connected to your Google Maps and all that for that to work. into the system. You can choose your language, set the time, the date, and what units you want to be measuring in, whether you want it in miles per hour or kilometers per hour, your temperature, things like that. Let's start the van up. So you've got lane keeping assist, you've got your stop start, automatic braking system. Obviously I've not tried this out. You can switch everything off, but everything is reset to back on when the next time you enter the vehicle. Traction control, you've got blind spot alert, which in the mirrors you get a little red light, and that happens on both sides. There are also tutorials which will tell you all about the lane keeping assist and things like that. So we go back to the home screen. So from the home screen, press the home button and you will get the settings come up. Here you can set your own profile. If we just go on to mine, if we just go into the edit button, you can type in your own name and you can select your avatar. I've chosen this one. So you can go into it and you can have any one of those Peugeot badges on the display. And it will also tell you where you can connect your device. This is mine, and you can also add another if you want to. Also in the settings, there is a button there for your profile, which is like that one there. The customization one. Here you can actually change the screen colours if you want to. I've selected the green. There is a blue, which turns everything blue, and there is also a white one. I prefer the green one. So there are plenty of menus for you to choose from and have a play around with. Back to the home screen, have a look at the settings. The rear view mirror also has a couple of functions, and you can see there are a couple of buttons underneath and a switch here to switch it off if you don't want it on. On the button here you can switch to 2 camera modes, which means your rear view, and also there is a camera just below the door mirror there, which will give you that display there, and it's very, very wide angle, so it's on the motorway. It is very useful. You have a setting button, so you can change the brightness, and if you put the setting again, you can move the camera up or down. And it is very, very clear when people are behind you. You can actually see their faces, it's so clear. When you select reverse, you get a full display of the rear and the vehicle position indicator also turns as you turn the steering wheel, and you also get a heads-up display or an overhead view display of an all-round of the vehicle. So if I reverse out now, you can actually see there that the rear view camera is recording what it's seeing. So if you get too close to anything, it will beep and do all them kind of things. And then when you select drive, you also get cameras up in front and also parking sensors up in front. And it will show you there. And once you select park, it will go off. The gearbox is very easy to use. Foot on the brake to initiate the system, push it up for reverse and down for forward. And when you've stopped, apply the handbrake and push the park button. These are not buttons here, this is just an indicator. There is manual switchable mode, so when you press it into drive you can then press the manual button and you can now use the flappy paddles to change gear. So to be on the move, foot on the brake and select drive by pulling the lever backwards. Release handbrake and off we go. Let's take it for a drive.
Drive safely. Titan is initializing the SD card. Please wait a moment.
You'll have to excuse the sat-nav, the dash cam. It's just initializing. It will quieten down in a little while. The steering is very light around towns and it does stiffen up on the motorway. I'm currently doing 30 miles an hour and it's also giving me a warning there on the dash that I should be doing 30. So it is very safety conscious. I'm currently in 4th gear. Like I say, this is an 8-speed gearbox and the down changes are very swift and very smooth. There we go, we've just dropped down. Fantastic.
Titan is initializing the SD card. Please wait a moment.
Compared to the manual models, this is much better pulling away. You don't get the wheel spin like they used to have before. I always found with the manuals that it would wheel spin at the earliest of opportunities on a wet road. It was basically like driving Bambi on ice. If you do go over the speed limit, even though I'm not connected to my sat nav, if you go over by about 3 miles an hour, the dash will give out this very quiet, audible, sounds like bongo drums, and it's basically just telling you to slow down.
Initializing the SD card. Please wait a moment.
And also the speed indicator will flash.
Restarting Titan now.
So the van is very powerful, even though we're fully loaded. It's very, very nippy and very easy to drive. Certainly I found on Friday when I was stuck in traffic on the M1, this automatic gearbox really came into its own. So the dash is just telling me I'm going slightly above the speed limit, and it's give out a little bongo drum beat there, and it does that 3 times, and the indicator will flash for about a minute, and after that it will revert back to normal. So there is a quick look round the Peugeot Expert 2024-2025 model. As you can see, there is your rear view camera. Really nice van, very good to drive, very powerful, plenty of room. I think Peugeot have done well with this one. Thank you, Jofsons, for allowing me to do this video, and I'll see you in work Monday morning. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little walk round and tour of the new Peugeot Expert, courtesy of work. Thank you very much indeed, and we'll see you all again soon in a future video. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheerio now. Bye bye.